It started with an outrage from parents.
It's just crazy. And, you can not wear a mask to church, but you have to wear a mask in the classroom.
After all this time, we have to go backwards.
To say it was the most distressing piece of news to come out of the diocese in a long time is an understatement.
And stems from their children.
When my teacher said we probably won't have to wear masks next year, I got excited about that. And when my mom told me this morning that we would have to wear masks, I was like, wait, what?
Lemoyne is 11 years old and is going in the 5th grade at a local Catholic school. She and her mom, Katie, say Lemoyne has already been separated, at least from a 6 feet perspective, from her friends for a year and a half now. They expected some normalcy when they would go back for the 2021-22 school year.
I mean, where does this end? And it's time to get these kids back to normal. It's time to get life back to normal.
That's after this 3-page notification went out to parents from the Diocese of Baton Rouge, specifically the diocese superintendent, Dr. Melanie Palmisano. It basically reads, students and staff who are fully vaccinated do not need to mask or maintain physical distancing, while all unvaccinated adults and students in grade 3 through 12 must wear face masks while indoors, including classrooms. Plus, unvaccinated students must remain at least 3 feet apart in classrooms, 6 feet apart while eating, and any activities like shouting, band practice, sports, or exercise. Unvaccinated adults must remain 6 feet apart.
Theoretically, they will appear to be being punished. But the rules in the letter from the diocese, again, still no basis in any science. I mean, who came up with 3 feet apart? Is that we're just splitting the difference from 6? I mean, none of it makes any sense. And it was shocking to see the diocese take this move when prior to this, they seem to have been more, aggressive in their stance that it should be looked at a school-by-school level, and parents should be involved in the decisions.
But the physical wearing of a mask is not what has many parents and children upset. It's the separation of the vaccinated from the unvaccinated.
Maybe like the people that are vaccinated, they will get to eat lunch in the cafeteria, and the kids that aren't vaccinated get to eat lunch in their classroom. I don't think that's fair but you still have to go in the cafeteria and grab your food, and you get to see all these kids that get to stay in there and talk without no mask and everything because they're older than you and get to have the vaccine.
Number one, you're creating division amongst children. You're basically putting like an X on their back saying, these people are vaccinated, these people are not.
These schools should be teaching these kids about being together, working together, and being a part of a group, and not providing an easy path to a scarlet letter for certain kids because their parents aren't mandating that those kids get a vaccine.
Oh, it's safety, it's this, it's that. These guidelines are going to help us. No, they're not. They're creating mental health issues for our children. You're dividing them. You're separating children when, you should be standing for togetherness and unity and coming together and empowerment and all of that, and it's not.
Now, in my conversations with the Louisiana Department of Health, they tell me that the FDA has not even authorized a COVID vaccine for children who are under the age of 12, meaning as of now, unless the child is in a trial, there is no vaccine for children under the age of 12. Now, out of the 3 vaccines, one of them is authorized to be given to children over the age of 12 or older, that is. But again, that comes down to whether or not the parents want it for their children.
It's not my fault I wasn't born a year ago.
Because of that outrage, Ned Fasulo, who has 2 boys in local Catholic schools, started a petition this morning. As you can see, the numbers of signatures are increasing literally by the second.
The idea behind this was to make sure our voices were heard, and it has since snowballed into a very, very large issue for the diocese. So my expectation is that at some level they backtrack this pretty quickly. I don't think any of us place blame on any one person, or certainly not at war with the diocese. Our kids are in Catholic schools because we support Catholicism, but this decision could have gone very, very differently.
So, of course, I came to the Diocese of Baton Rouge to get an answer from the superintendent herself as to what made all of this happen. I was told that she is in a meeting. When I called again about 3 to 4 hours later, I was told she remains in that meeting. That is after I have requested an on-camera interview or any statement email. Instead, about 30 minutes later, I did receive this statement from Dan Bornay saying the diocese would not be doing any interviews and instead sent this page-long comment. The quick summary of the statement is that with many people no longer wearing masks during the summer and families traveling out of state, it is important to implement protocols to begin the school year out of an abundance of caution to ensure safety. When I responded asking about the possible separation of those vaccinated from those not vaccinated, I was eventually told, quote, "It's one of the number of questions we are working through and probably won't get back to you today."
Our question is, who made this decision? And why was this decision come to with no not talking to parents?
Really puts us in a bad place as parents who want to send their children to their kids to Catholic schools for a Catholic education, but they're stripping us of all parental liberty.
The number one stakeholder in a private school is the parent, if not the child. So the fact that these decisions appear to be made above all of the parents' interests and unilaterally across all the Catholic schools without even so much as a survey monkey to us in email asking us what our thoughts were to start the new school year are outrageous.
The frustrations from the notification this morning have some parents and children considering pulling out of the Catholic school system altogether.
So my brother already goes to a school that's not going to have masks. So it depends if all the stuff that everyone's saying that we will be separated from the people that have the vaccine and don't have the vaccine. I might want to switch because I would like not to wear a mask at school.
Someone needs to protect these children. If it's not our government, surely it should be the Archdiocese, a religious organization.
Jill Hines has been the fighting voice for children and parents at the state capitol. Upon hearing what was happening today, despite driving home from out of town, she especially made time for an interview. Now listen carefully to her journey this past year at session to ensure children's rights.
That we want to avoid. A child does not have the capability to stand up to an adult like an adult would in an employment situation. So our concern is for the children and their lack of human rights. The human rights that are being violated and have been violated for the last year and a half.
And if HB 498 passes, it would give the children some rights?
It would prevent the state, public schools, public universities from discriminating against them, because this is what it is. It's a discriminatory action. They're identifying students that are unvaccinated and they're covering their faces. They're impeding their breathing. They're forcing them to separate from their classmates in a way that identifies them as being different. Interestingly enough, our state's constitution prevents discrimination based on physical condition. Articles 3 and Article 12 protect an individual literally on the basis of their physical condition. And that's what these children have. They're born in a particular way without this vaccine, and the government, without HB 498's intervention, the government will be discriminating against them.
What about private schools?
Again, there was a senator that removed the private portion when it was introduced on the Senate floor for the Senate to vote. So right now, as it stands, it does not protect individuals in private schools and private universities.
But you guys are planning to appeal the governor's veto.
We are planning on. We're hoping it's left up to the legislature. We have a call to action on our social media and our social media channels, asking individuals to contact Speaker Schexnayder and Senate President Paige Cortez, and asking them not to ignore HB 498.
Some said the notification from the diocese may be in line with the EBR public schools. They, however, tell me their guidance for the upcoming school year will not be out till August the 3rd at the latest. With Unfiltered with Kieran, I'm Kieran Chawla. As always, if you like my work, please subscribe on my YouTube channel, Unfiltered with Kieran. Thanks for watching.